Some mysterious people kidnapped this guy 15 years ago, but the guy named Dyson could not understand for so many years who or why he was kidnapped. So after 15 years, when he came to invent this mystery, he kept coming up with such stories that would make a healthy person unhealthy. To find out what those stories are, today I am here with the explanation of the most disturbing thriller movie, Oldboy, released in 2003. But let me tell you, you have to be very careful to digest the last one. So let's start today's movie explanation without further ado. At the beginning of the movie, we can see a guy named Dyson, who is a businessman. He was very important. Dyson was so careless about his family that even on his daughter's birthday, he did not give his family time to mourn. Dyson was so upset that day that he threw a lot of trash on the road, which caused the police to take him to the police station. Even there, Dyson started fighting with the police for no reason. But at the right time, a friend of his came to the police and took him away from the police station. When the two of them got out of the police station, Dyson called home on a public phone. At that time, the phone was in Dyson's daughter's hand. Dyson congratulates his daughter on her birthday and says, "I will come home early today." When Dyson finished saying all this, Dyson's friend kept talking to another person. At the same time, Dyson's phone was out of reach. Dyson's friend can see behind him that Dyson is not there. It means that suddenly Dyson gets up from there mysteriously. But from the next scene, we can see that Dyson is not up anywhere. He was actually kidnapped and imprisoned in an unknown private jail. As I said before, a private jail is a kind of jail where one person can rent a room in the jail, and he can provide any facilities in that room as he wishes. The room in which Dyson was trapped in the jail had a small gate in it, through which the prisoners living there were informed. Then we can see that a person comes to Dyson to inform him through that gate. Dyson comes out of that gate and says to that person, "Who are you? Why did you imprison me here? What crime did I commit today? Please tell me." But that person doesn't listen to Dyson at all and covers him with food and leaves. The room in which Dyson was trapped had all the facilities. There was a bed, a TV, a picture, and a washroom in that room, and Dyson was fed his food every day. But Dyson couldn't understand who kept him trapped in this room. It takes about a year for time to pass. In this 1 year, no one came to meet Dyson, and because of this, Dyson gradually goes crazy. After a few days, a kind of gas is released in that room, through which Dyson is thrown unconscious. Then when he regains consciousness, Dyson can see that he has also cut off his beard, and he has to clean it and put on new clothes. Like this, those people one day take a glass from Dyson's room and an inch of blood from Dyson's body. But a few days later, Dyson unexpectedly saw on TV that someone had murdered his wife, because of which the police thought that Dyson's wife had run away after murdering himself. In addition, the police could know from the people around that Dyson was trapped for about a year, and he always fought with his wife. Seeing all this, Dyson completely breaks down from the inside. He can't understand what crime is happening to him. He didn't commit any crime that he is being punished like this. He was so broken that Dyson took a piece of wood from there and wanted to kill himself with a rocket in his hand. But those who had kidnapped Dyson didn't let him do this. Dyson was made unconscious before he died, and he was treated and transferred to that room again. But Dyson doesn't stay here. He tries to find out himself in various ways. But the kidnappers don't save him every time. Seeing all this, it seems that the kidnappers want Dyson to stay alive. Dyson is given a chopstick every day as a food. Dyson starts digging a closet through that chopstick. But Dyson realized that it would take him many years to dig this closet. So to spend every year he was in jail, he put a tag on his hand. Dyson starts a list of all the crimes he has committed since his childhood in a diary in the room. But he couldn't find anything that could give him such a big punishment. With all this worry, Dyson's fire of revenge keeps burning. He keeps torturing himself so that when he gets out of here, he can kill the person who ruined him so many years. That's why he watched TV every day and practiced boxing. It takes about 15 years to go back in time like this. Inside this, he takes out a chopstick from his closet and throws it away. After so many years, Dyson is very happy to see the outside world of the closet. Dyson takes out his hand and starts taking a glass of water. But after a while, the gas is released in that room. Because of that gas, when Dyson wakes up, A woman comes to that room who had originally come to hypnotize Dyson. That woman keeps telling Dyson, "You see green grass around you, am I right?" Dyson replies, "Yes, you are right." And after saying this, Dyson goes around there. The next day, Dyson is left in an open field in a bag. As Dyson has been left out for 15 years, Dyson can't even see the light of the sun when he gets out of the bag. As a result, he couldn't see anything outside. But after a while, Dyson becomes quite normal. Then Dyson sees a person there who was going to kill himself from the roof. But Dyson goes to that person and starts healing him. As Dyson hasn't seen anyone for 15 years, he starts seeing this person in a strange way. He keeps telling him all the incidents that happened to him, and he keeps trying to make that person understand that he doesn't commit suicide. But even after understanding so much, when Dyson leaves from there, at the same time, the person commits suicide from the building. But the funny thing is, Dyson doesn't have any feelings when he sees all this, because he keeps thinking, what kind of strange world is this? When we are happy, everyone is with us. But when we are sad, no one is with us. The timeline of the time when Dyson was released was 2003, because of which this world was very new to Dyson. Dyson goes to an aquarium shop and sees fish, but at that time a beggar sits next to Dyson. He comes and gives Dyson a mobile phone and a money bag, which had a lot of money. That person keeps telling Dyson, "You don't ask me anything because I don't know anything. I just came to give you these things for money." Saying all this, the person leaves from there. Then we see Dyson in a restaurant. A female worker living there keeps telling Dyson, "Do you come here often? How does your face look familiar?" Dyson says in response, "How does my face look familiar to you?" But after a while, Dyson gets a call from the attendant of that mobile phone. After receiving the call, the attendant keeps telling Dyson, "How do you feel about being released from such a detention?" Dyson doesn't say anything in response, and keeps asking the same question, "Who are you and why have you kept me stuck for so many years?" The attendant answers, "You think for yourself who I am." Dyson keeps telling everyone's name one by one, but the attendant says, "I am not one of them." Then he says, "You call your eyes once from the beginning to the end of your life, and keep thinking, what crimes can I punish you with? I know very soon you will be able to get out of that crime." He also says, "I am waiting for you. I really want to see you. So hurry up and come to me." Dyson keeps telling him, "Why did you keep me hypnotized?" But he doesn't say anything else and hangs up the phone. But after hanging up the phone, Dyson looks a little worried. Seeing Dyson like this, the girl in the restaurant holds Dyson's hand. But at that time, Dyson becomes unconscious. Seeing Dyson like this, the girl falls in love with him, and he takes Dyson to his house. The next day, when Dyson wakes up from his dream, he sees the girl he was seen with in the restaurant. The girl's name is Mito. Mito's Dyson keeps reading that diary, which he wrote in that jail. But Dyson doesn't like this thing, and he doesn't take those diaries from Mito. But after knowing everything that happened in Dyson's life, Mito becomes a little weak towards Dyson. Now Dyson has two problems in his life. One is to find that kidnapper, and the other is to find his daughter. Dyson's wife is dead, but his daughter is still alive. That's why he starts looking for his daughter first. Now he is a criminal, because of which he can't meet his family now. That's why he wants to use Mito. As a result, he wants to use Mito to find some information about his daughter. Dyson sends Mito to a woman. From there, Mito learns that Dyson's daughter was kidnapped by a Swedish family at that time, and now it seems that his daughter is in Sweden. Now, after hearing all this, Dyson finally stops looking for his daughter. But after this, Dyson goes on a mission to find that kidnapper. It can be seen that he and Mito go to a restaurant to eat. There they were eating momos as food. At that time, Dyson remembers the story of that jail, because Dyson, who was in jail for 15 years, was given momos as food. As a result, he can never forget the taste of that momos. Now, after seeing this momos, Dyson wants to play a trick. He keeps tasting all the momos of the restaurant in that area. Finally, he slowly finds the same restaurant where he was given momos. Then he keeps following the delivery boy in that restaurant. While following, he goes to the same jail where he was locked up for 15 years. Then he went there, and Dyson found out that it was a private jail, where people are imprisoned for money. Dyson tells the manager who was in that jail, "Why did you keep me locked up here for 15 years?" In response, the jail manager says, "I didn't lock you up here. We locked someone up here for money. You can also lock someone up here for money." Dyson asked the same person where he had kept him locked up for so many years. But the jail manager says he started talking to him on the phone. Dyson now asks the same person who he has been looking for so long, but the jail manager says he only talked to him on the phone, so he never saw him face to face with him. But yes, he had recorded his voice call. Now, if Dyson wants, he can take it from there. But Dyson was so angry that he took away all the teeth of that manager. And he also takes away the voice recorder. But by the time he leaves, all the bodyguards in jail are waiting to kill Dyson. Dyson starts killing all the bodyguards who were there. But they were too many. Dyson didn't want to go with them. But finally, somehow, he gets out of there with all the bodyguards. But he was so angry that he couldn't stop. His whole body was covered in blood. Just then, a person who was there helps Dyson and puts him in a taxi. That person gives the taxi driver the address of the middle house and pays for it. For this, Dyson thanks that person. In return, that person says, "You are welcome, Dyson." Hearing this, Dyson is completely shocked. On top of that, he also remembers that how did this person get the address of the middle house? Other than this, his name is not worth knowing. But Dyson's body was not so strong that he would catch that person. As a result, after a while, Dyson falls unconscious in the same taxi. Now when he regains consciousness, Dyson can see the middle house next to him, which was bandaging his whole body. Now Dyson keeps listening to that voice message that he had brought from that jail. In that voice record, the kidnapper and the jail manager were talking to each other. The kidnapper says, "You have to keep one person in your jail for 15 years, but you have to keep this person so that he doesn't go crazy." Then the jail manager says, "Then you have to give him drugs 2 days later." Hearing all this, the manager says, "Then you have to give him drugs 2 days later. Other than this," he says, "you won't get him out of jail for so many years." But the kidnapper says just one thing and hangs up the phone. Then we see Dyson, who went to meet his friends. This is the friend we saw at the beginning of the movie. Dyson's friend breaks into tears when he sees Dyson. He shares all the events that happened with Dyson with his friend. After hearing all the events, Dyson's friend says, "I think none of your friends have done this to you." The kidnapper knows the address of the mirror. The kidnapper followed the mirror. Hearing all this, Dyson now doubts the mirror. So he goes to the mirror to talk to the mirror. Dyson thought that the mirror was behind all this. Otherwise, why would this girl help him so much? But after a while, his friend calls Dyson and tells him to meet him soon. After meeting his friend says, "I checked all the mails in the mirror. There is a mail today where there is an address. Besides this, the case of you murdering your wife will not be raised tomorrow. That is, from tomorrow there will be no police case behind you." The address that Dyson got from that mail was right next to the mirror. So he goes to that address. There, Dyson can see the person who had kidnapped him for so many years. And this person had sent Dyson to the house of the mirror in the same taxi. The name of the person here was Leogen, which we will call Leo from now on. Leo tells Dyson, "You only have 5 days. In this, you have to decide why I have kept you in prison for so many years. If you can't decide this, then I will kill all the girls you love so far. And in this list, there is a mirror and your daughter." Hearing these words, Dyson is completely shocked and holds his tongue to kill Leo. But here Leo tells him, "There is a press maker in my book, and I have made a remote control to turn off this press maker, which is in my hand at this moment. If you can get out in 5 days why I have kidnapped you, then I will press this button myself and kill myself. Besides this, when I came, I tried to keep the door of the mirror open. I don't know what those people are doing with the mirror. Actually, you are your own enemy. Was it necessary to give the manager of the jail on that day?" Hearing all this, Dyson is scared and quickly goes to the mirror house. But there, he can see the mirror in a completely different state. The people there were stabbed in the neck of the mirror. The jail manager will go to kill Dyson. At the same time, some people give the same manager a bag full of money and ask them to leave the two of them, because of which the manager who gets the money also leaves from there. But then Dyson wakes up and says, "I will cut off your hand through which you grabbed the mirror." Hearing this, the manager laughs and says, "Then what will you do with my life?" It means that the same manager grabbed the mirror with his life. Then Dyson takes the mirror far away, because the two of them were very scared and they stay in a hotel far away. Because they stay together for a long time, they start loving each other. So that night, the two of them become physical. The next day, Dyson can see a box in his room. But the most terrible thing is, in that box was the hand of the same manager that Dyson wanted to cut off. Seeing all this, Dyson could understand that Leo was listening to all their secret conversations. Seeing all this, Dyson could understand that Leo was listening to all their secret conversations. And behind saving the same manager was Leo's hand. Now Dyson wonders that maybe there is a chip in his body, because of which he goes to a shopping mall and checks his whole body. After checking this, Dyson sees many transmitters in his clothes, and after seeing this, he throws them in the dustbin. Then Dyson and Mito meet that friend. The email that was sent to Mito, they keep checking that email. After checking that email, they get to know about this school, which was called Songnok High School. After seeing this, Dyson gets very angry, because his two friends were studying in that school. As a result, he keeps saying, "That means my enmity with Leo is from this school life." Now the two of them get along, so he starts exploring the old school. There he sees a picture of Dyson and Leo in an old album. There was a group photo next to it, but there was also a girl's face. Dyson starts remembering that girl's face little by little. Dyson remembers so much that that girl's name was Lushenha, but he doesn't remember anything else. So he goes to meet one of his classmates. Dyson asks his classmate about Lushenha. But after listening to Dyson, that girl says, "Your friend knows best about her." Now after hearing this, Dyson calls his friend. "Do you know any girl named Lushenha?" In response, his friend says, "Yes, I know that girl. She is a characterless girl. Her character was very bad. And instead of her, her boyfriend's child was the reason why she committed suicide." Dyson's friend heard these words from Leo. After hearing these, Leo can't take it anymore, and he brutally kills Dyson's friend. Leo keeps saying again and again, "My friend was not characterless." When Dyson finds out that his friend is dead, he breaks his ears. He keeps remembering that at any time, Leo can kill himself. So he wants to keep that video in a safe place, where he will always be safe. Dyson takes the video to the jail manager, whose hands Leo had cut off. Dyson knows two enemies are best friends, so he wants help from the jail manager to keep the video safe. Hearing all this, the jail manager also agrees to keep the video. Now Dyson starts remembering everything about that girl. He keeps telling the video the girl Leo was talking about was actually Leo's sister. Leo and Lushenha loved each other. So one day Leo and Lushenha had a physical relationship, which I saw. Then I told my friend about all this. Apart from this, I said that I think Lushenha's son is his own brother's child. Now I can understand. This little story of mine has changed me today. But I told my friend not to tell anyone about this. But my friend did not listen to anything, and the next day spread the same news all over the school. After knowing this, Lushenha could not bear it anymore, and jumped into a river and committed suicide. After hearing all this, Mito says, "Leo, why did you give me 5 days?" Dyson replies, 5 days is needed because today, that is on July 5th, his sister died, and that's why he gave me 5 days. Mito then says, "You all know now. Come on, we want to go far away so that no one can find us." But Dyson does not agree to this at all. He keeps saying that I do not want to go anywhere. A motive for Leo ruined my 15 years for the small. In addition, he also killed my wife to take her. Now I will revenge. For this, Mito goes with the protection of the jail manager. To meet Leo, Dyson goes to Leo's penthouse. Leo goes there and says, "Finally, you remember." Dyson replies, "What have you got me? You hypnotize me and tell me to remember. And you are so bad that you leave your own bone. When you saw this news being spread all over the school, then you killed your own bone yourself." Leo laughs at Dyson and says, "Now you do as you say." But Leo replies, "Wait, friend. Why are you running? So who said I hypnotized you to forget all this?" "I hypnotized, it's true, but the reason was something else. And with you, I hypnotized another person that you will know later. And what think? If you say this about me, I will eat you. You are crazy. But you this matter of my bone even once. And it was spread so much school that my bone really felt like it was pregnant. As a result, it was not able to, oh, tell me something. Do you know anything about post-hypnotism? Post-hypnotism is a type of hypnotism where a person is hypnotized and a lot of things have to be put in his. Don't you feel a little strange? Will a young, beautiful girl love you? Actually, I have post-hypnotized. And do you know what was the biggest mistake in? You asked me a mistake. When I from jail, you told me why I kept you in jail for 15 years. But your question should have been, why did I from jail after 15 years? Do you want to know this? Then open the box, and after hearing all this, Dyson can see an album in that which was in page of his family in his childhood. He keeps looking at it one. But the most terrible thing is that when he flips the page, one by his daughter grows up. When he goes to the last page, he gets scared seeing. Because the girl he loved for a very long time gone, he gets and tries to kill. Right then, his bodyguard starts killing Dyson. When he kills Dyson, Leo kills his bodyguard because he doesn't want Dyson to die, because doesn't him, to Leo tells him that he will kill him only if Leo tells that he will kill him only if the phone. At the same time, the jail manager picked up the phone and gave it to Dyson's daughter. At the same time, the girl was crying a lot. Then she said that they gave her a box that told her to open it again and again. Then Dyson could understand what could be in this box. Seeing all this, Dyson never wanted his daughter to know about all this. So he told the girl to open the box and said, "I'll be back in a while," and left the phone. There was no other way. Now Dyson wanted an apology from Leo. And with that, Leo started climbing his feet. Dyson kept requesting him not to open the box. But Leo didn't like this apology. There was no other way. Dyson threw a piece of paper into his own pocket. Now Leo likes this apology. So Leo called the same manager and told him not to let Leo open the box. Then Leo said, "Do you know? I've been waiting for you for so long. You can die now if you want. Or you can move on and get married to your mother." Leo said all this and left. But on the way, the pressmaker's remote fell from Leo's pocket. At this moment, Dyson quickly took the remote and pressed it. But Leo couldn't die in this. Actually, it was a trap. Leo deliberately threw the remote from his pocket. Now, do you want to know why he did this? I don't think you were ready to hear this. When Dyson pressed the remote button, Dyson and his daughter's intimate voice were heard from the corner of the room. Brother, explainer, what am I supposed to say? I don't understand." Hearing this, Dyson fell from the sky. Leo kept lifting and walking from there. But then he kept visualizing his sister. When his sister was about to commit suicide, he tried to save her by holding her hand. But then his sister said, "Remember me all your life, but leave me now." After saying this, Leo left his sister's hand. He couldn't bear this sight anymore. So he shot himself and killed himself. Finally, his today's revenge is over. He had been waiting for this day for so long. Today his purpose was successful. So he killed himself. After this, we see a scene after a long time, where Dyson is trying to find the same woman who hypnotized him. Dyson can't speak now because of his tongue, so he tries to understand the woman through a piece of paper. "You give me all the evidence so that I can't remember my past in any way." Then the woman says, "I have no intention of helping you, but your last line touched my heart." Actually, Dyson wrote in the last line, "I have committed many heinous sins in my life, but does that mean I have no right to live?" Hearing this emotional story, the woman agrees to help Dyson. The woman then says, "My hypnotizing may be wrong, because of which you can forget everything in your past. Or it may be that you can remember everything." But Dyson doesn't understand so much, so he agrees to this. After this, the same woman starts hypnotizing Dyson. Finally, the same woman hypnotizes Dyson. Now Dyson has gone completely crazy, but one question still remains. His daughter has not been hypnotized yet, and because of which his daughter came here looking for Dyson. And when she came here, she told her father, "I love you." Hearing this, Dyson smiles, but after a while, his smile is no longer painful. With just such a scene, this movie ends here. I don't know how you like the video. If you are new to this channel, then subscribe to the channel to see more thriller movies like this. See you in the next suspense or thriller movie. Until then, be well and stay healthy. Sure thing. Here is a slightly longer response. Hi all my friends. I hope you enjoyed my movie explanation. Your support means a lot to me, so please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share the video introduction. Thank you.